All right. So in this section, we're just solving some word problems with trig. So the first thing is we need to understand how to draw these pictures correctly. And so if you look at this picture, imagine you're the person standing on the cliff and then you're looking at the plane and the boat. So you're this person standing on the cliff, which means when you look straight ahead, that is the horizontal. Okay, so that's the kind of the important part. What do you need to do to look at the plane? Look up. So the angle for you to,
With your eyes.
Oh, yes, that's also correct. So if you need to look up, that means you need to tilt your head. So that angle is called the angle of elevation. Remember, it is where you are, the horizontal, looking up. So this is very important because a lot of times if we start drawing the wrong picture, labeling the wrong thing, your answer obviously will be wrong. Okay, in order for you to look at a boat, you're going to have to lower your head to look at the boat. So it's going to be from the horizontal down. So this is called the angle of depression.
Wait,
Yes.
hey, I think everyone
It is a sad angle. Okay, all right. So the angle of elevation is the angle that is made when you look up from your eye level, sorry. And the angle of depression is made when you look down from your eye level. So this is how we're going to find out whether you really understand which angle is which. Okay, let's look at this question. The angle of depression of a ship from the top of a lighthouse 130 feet above the surface of water is 6 degrees. Find the distance x from the base of the lighthouse to the ship. Okay, I want you to label everything you know on this diagram. The key part is where do you put the 6 degrees? Because the 130 and the x are easy, but 6 degrees, where are you going to put it? Okay, so let me show you how to read this question and solve or draw a correct diagram. Okay, the angle of depression from a ship to a ship, okay, from the top of the lighthouse. So you're standing here. The lighthouse is 130 feet above the surface of water. So this is 130. Is 6 degrees. All right, so that's the key. Well, I'm going to save the suspense for later, so I'm going to do that last. Find the distance x from the base of the lighthouse. The base of the lighthouse means bottom to the ship. So this part has to be x. All right, you're standing here looking down to the ship. The question is, where is the angle of depression? 1 or 2? How many people think 1 is the angle of depression? How many people think 2 is the angle of depression? Oh, people got to vote. All right. Even if you're not sure, if you vote, you would gain some experience from that. Let's give you 10 more seconds to talk to your partner to decide. All right. Angle of depression. Let's guess again, or let's vote. How many people think it's 1? How many people think it's 2? Okay. All right. Answer is 1, but we gotta help the people who got 2. Okay, where are you? On the top. So normally you look ahead. Now you need to look at a ship. What do you need to do to look at a ship? Look down. So the angle from where you are to where you look down, that is the angle. Does that make sense? You were looking ahead, now you had to look down. Okay, you were looking straight ahead. Now you have to look down on the ship. That angle that sweeps through is the angle of depression. Okay, if normally you would look straight ahead. You need to look down. That would be the angle. Wait, can you tell me a reason why you think it's this one? Okay, have no reason. Then please just adjust to what I say. Okay, 6 degrees. All right, so now we need to solve for x. You could draw a triangle this way, but that is not the fastest way. The fastest way is to draw this triangle, knowing that this is 90 degrees. So basically, you have this triangle that looks like this, 90 degrees, 6 degrees. X is what you want, and then this is 130. Okay, so you need to find X. You know two things. One is the angle, and the other is one of the sides. So if you are taking the 6 degrees as the reference angle, what trig function would the other two sides make? Tangent, yes. So tangent 6 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. Do you guys know how to solve for X? Should be pretty easy. Okay, make sure your calculator is in degrees and not radian, or else your answer will be all wrong, guaranteed. So please solve it. Let me know when you are done. Okay, so X is equal to 130 divided by tangent 6 degrees. So try not to round as much as you can. That way your answer will be the most accurate. So 1236.9 feet. All right, we're gonna try another one with angle of depression. Hopefully we have better success this time. Okay, from the top of a 100-feet tall building, I'm gonna label this for you, 100. So the sky is on the top. So let's say the height is negligible. A man observes a car moving toward the building. If the angle of depression of the car changes from 22 to 46 during the period of observation, how far does the car travel? Let's say how far is X. I want you to label everything. So where is 22 degrees? Where is 46 degrees? Where is X? Which part are you trying to solve? So go ahead and do that. Work with your partner. That way you don't try to do it by yourself and realize, oh, that was, I couldn't understand how to do it. So talk to somebody. Okay, so he is looking at this car coming towards him. So it changed from 22 to 46. 46 is the big angle, okay? So X is this part. Okay, so we want to find X, which is going to be a little bit tricky. So what we want to do is utilize a different triangle. We know that this part is a triangle. And then we can also use, I'm going to draw this correctly. This part. Ooh. Actually, I think I'm not drawing this correctly. This part. Okay, so we have two angles here. So we can't really find X by itself because the triangle that would be made with X is this one, and that is not a right triangle. So there's nothing we can do to solve that. So what we want to do is utilize the triangles that we do have. So we don't know what this part is, so I'm just going to call it Y. So then this triangle, this length up here is X plus Y. So if you look at the big triangle is X plus Y, 22 degrees, and then you have a right angle here, and this is 100 for the building. And then the smaller triangle is this one with just Y, 100, and then 46 degrees. What we want to do is find X. Okay, so I'm going to let you go to it. Find X. All right, so let's finish solving this. So both of them are going to require you using tangent. So X plus Y is going to end up being, actually, let me write this out. So tangent 22 degrees is equal to 100 over X plus Y. And then this one is tangent 46 is equal to 100 over y. So then if you solve for x plus y and y, you're going to subtract them. And then so x is equal to 150.9 feet. Okay, for those of you who tried the hot air balloon one, the answer is 34.32 feet. All right, the last kind of question, this one's a little tricky. It's a boat question, and the boat question is different from all the other questions because of how they calculate angle, or how they start calculating angle. Okay, so this question says, a boat leaves the port and averages 35 knots, that is nautical miles per hour, traveling for 2 hours on a course of 53 degrees, and then 3 hours on a course of 143 degrees. What is the boat's bearing, which means direction, and distance from the port? All right, that's a lot of information and very confusing. So the difference between a boat and normal cars or other kind of question is boats start calculating. So usually your angle 0 degrees is where? 0 degrees, usually. Right here, right? So x-axis. So for boats, 0 degrees is the y-axis. So this is a big difference. It starts at 90. So if you don't do that, your answer is going to be all wrong. So your your boat is right here, and this is how you calculate angle from the vertical due north. So basically pointing north is 0 degrees. Okay, so it says this boat leaves the port and averages 35 knots, traveling for 2 hours. Oh, sorry, on a course of 53 degrees. On a course of 53 degrees. So where is 53 degrees relative to the y-axis? So this way is positive, this way is negative. Somewhere here, right? Okay, so the boat is going to go for 2 hours, 53 degrees. And then it's going to turn for 143 degrees. Again, relative to the y-axis. So where is 143? Yes, not past 180, right? 180 is straight down, so 143 is right here. So 143 degrees, somewhere here. And it's going to go for another 3 hours. Okay, so 3 hours is not really going to help us, or 2 hours is not going to help us figure out how far it is from the port. So let's look at this question first. It traveled at an average speed of 35 knots for 2 hours. So how far is the boat from the port at this time, after 2 hours? 7, huh? 70 miles, yeah. So, okay, so instead of thinking knots, just think this is miles per hour. You went out for 2 hours at 35 miles per hour. How far are you from where you are? 70, right? So speed times time is distance. Yeah, makes sense? So then this is 70. And then it's going to turn 143 degrees and go another 3 hours. So how far is the boat from where it turned? 105. Okay, finally the question. What is the boat's bearing? So basically the angle and distance from the port. From the port. So we're going to draw straight from the port. The question is, what is the angle from the port and how far is it from the port? Bless you. So what is the angle from the port? That is the 100 from the vertical y-axis, and how far is it from the port? So this is gonna be a hard question if there is no right angle, but hint hint, there is a right angle somewhere. Yeah, you have to find that. You're gonna have to take out your geometry skills. So you have two parallel lines with transversal. So think alternate interior angles. Okay, find x. And then find the angle. So this is 53 by alternate interior angles, right? You have two parallel lines cut with a transversal, alternate interior angles must be the same. This angle here is the leftover of the 180 degrees, so that's 37. 37 plus 53 is 90, so this is the right angle. So sometimes when it's very messy, I redraw it. So this is 90 degrees, 70, 105, x, and then we want part of this angle because we actually want to know from the whole thing, but you got to find this one first. I'm going to give you maybe 2 more minutes and then we'll go over the whole thing. Okay, so this is a right triangle, right? So that means Pythagorean theorem should apply. So 70 squared plus 105 squared is x squared. So x is 126.2. We gotta find this angle. This angle is, we can see an opposite side and we can see a adjacent side. So that has to be tangent. Tangent of this angle is 105 over 70. How do I find that angle? Yeah, inverse tangent. 105 over 70. Yeah, 56.3 degrees is this one. But that's not the direction from the port in the both sense. Right, 56 is just that angle in the triangle, but what is it from the vertical? Yeah, 109.3, because it traveled 53 to begin with. This part is 56.3. You got to add them together. Okay, so the actual angle, the true angle is 109.3 degrees.